Hello, this is Lesson 3, Video 2 for Redox Reactions for Chemistry 2. So in our last video, we looked at how to do the half reaction method with our acidic solution. So this video, we're going to look at a second example. And here we have the reaction of hydrogen peroxide with the permanganate ion yielding oxygen and manganese plus 2 in acidic solution. So this one, we're not going to write out all of the steps like we did before. We're going to do this just together. So our first step was to divide them into half reactions. So our first half reaction is H2O2 yields O2. And our second half reaction is MnO4 minus yields Mn plus 2. So if you remember, the first thing that we do is balance all of our non-hydrogens and oxygens. So this one is just hydrogen and oxygen, so we don't have to worry about it. And over here, our MNs are balanced. Our second step was to look at oxygens and balance oxygens by adding water to whatever side needs it. Here we have 2 oxygens on each side, so we're good. But over here, we need to add 4 H2O to the product side to balance our oxygens. Our next step is to balance H's by adding H plus to whatever side that needs it. So on our first half reaction, we have 2 H's on this side, so we need 2 H pluses on the product side. Over here, we don't have any H's on this side, but we have 8 on this side, so I'm going to put 8 H plus on the reactant side. So our elements are all balanced. Now we have to worry about electrons. So if we look at this, this is a 0 charge on this side. Over here we have a plus 2 from our 2 H pluses. So I can add 2 negative charges, electrons are negative, don't forget, to this side. And if I do that, plus 2 minus 2 is 0, so that balances out our charges. Over here, I have 8 H plus and a minus 1, so this is plus 7 on this side. Over here, the only thing I have is plus 2. So our difference between these two is 5, so I have to add 5 electrons to the reactant side. So everything is balanced. Now I have to find our LCM, which is based on the number of electrons. So I have 2 electrons here and 5 here. Our LCM is 10, least common multiple. So I have to multiply this side by 5 and this half reaction by 2. So now when I combine and cancel, I take the reactant side from both half reactions and put them together. And then I do the product side and put them together, but I have to remember to multiply all the coefficients by these numbers. So I'm going to end up with 5 H2O2 plus 10 electrons. 2 times 8 is 16 H plus and 2 MnO4 minus. So that's everything from the 2 reactant side. Now the product side, 5 O2 plus 10 H plus 10 electrons, plus 2 Mn plus 2, plus 8 H2O. Now that I have everything written out, I can cancel things that appear on both sides. So remember that we said the electrons should cancel out completely. They do. And then the only other thing that cancels out is H plus. So we have 10 on this side and 16 on this side. So all of these cross out, all the 10, and here we're left with 6. So our final answer is 5 hydrogen peroxide plus 6 H plus 2 permanganate yields 5 oxygens plus 2 manganese plus 2 ions plus 8 H2O, 8 waters. There's our final answer. You should be able to do the assignment now for half reaction method acidic.